the stream. I'm gonna make a cup of coffee. I will be right back. Just give people a minute to file in. So I'll be right back in 2 shakes. I forgot my water. Be right back. All right. I'm sorry the lighting is weird. I can't get my shade to go down. I plug in a microphone. I had horrible sound last time. Do I even have sound this time? Yes, it's moving. Yay. I assume not like this. Did that do anything? Hello? Ooh, that's better, right? That's better, right? Do I even have sound this time? Yes, it's moving. Yay. Hello, Stacy. I assume not like this. Okay, good. Did that do anything?
Grassy ass. I'm not sticking it in my ears though, because that's just dumb. Let's get comfy, settle in. Coolio. Okay, so I was going to tell you about that fireball. I think I messaged you, Stacy, at like 6:50 in the morning. I always forget I echo in this guitar. Right before I messaged you yesterday morning, I was headed to the bathroom. So I got up, and you've seen my bedroom, and as I'm going around the corner, it's kind of dark in here. I turned this lamp on, but I have two bandanas that I put over it, so it mutes the light considerably. So because he's sleeping right there, and I got up and I was going into the bathroom, and as I went around the corner, I saw this bright flash of light to my left, and I turned toward the sunroom because I thought that it came out of the sunroom, but in fact, it had come off of the mirrors that I have on the wall above my headboard. I have all of these, they're circles. And they're not real mirrors, they're just shiny and they're sticky and whatever. And I have them all up there. And we have this S curve right down the road. And when a car comes around the S curve, when it's dark out, it comes through this big window up here and it will go across my bedroom, across the top of my bedroom. And it'll flash a little bit in those mirrors. So I turn, I'm looking toward the sunroom because I thought that's where the flash of light came from. And then I saw another flash of light and I realized that it was flashing out of those mirrors, which means it's coming out of this front window. Now, my front window looks out into my driveway toward the road and it faces north. If I walked out of that window and walked due north for about 4 miles, I would walk right into Lake Erie. And yesterday morning, apparently, this huge fireball that was visible from like 4 states came through, headed north, and went out over Lake Erie. And it was at 6:45 in the morning, which was right before I was messaging Stacy. I was up a little later than usual. I'm usually up about 10 after, quarter after 6. And that's the only reason I know what time it was when I saw that flash. Because when I saw it, I thought that must have been a car. But it was weird. It was brighter than any car headlights I think I've ever seen. And like I said, when the cars come through on the S curve, it kind of goes across my room. It doesn't just flash, you know? So, yeah. And after I talked to Stacy and sat here for a little while and turned on TikTok, and I came across this news TikTok that was talking about this huge fireball. And I was like, oh my God, that's what I saw. Because when I saw it, I thought, no way, that that's so bright. I've never seen a car light that bright. And it flashed, 2 flashes. That was odd, but and I thought that's odd. And then I put it out of my mind and just went about my business. And it wasn't until they said at 6:45 this morning, and I was like, oh my God, that's what I saw. So I secondarily saw the fireball, if you've heard about that, but I thought it was funny because I had no idea that's what it was. And that is that. So, ugh, miss my face. Your aim better improve. So, the whole reason that I wanted to sit down and chat for a minute is because I had this thought the other day, and I can't believe it's never occurred to me before, but it hasn't. We all know, sweet mother, that's hot. Delicious, but very hot. I think we all know, but I won't speak for you. I will speak for me. It is my contention. I keep forgetting that's there. It is my contention that everything in this world is controlled by the God of this world. And the God of this world is attempting, as far as I can tell, to imitate the true creator of worlds. The true creator of worlds creates things in vibration with voice. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. God said things and created them. And the God of this world came along and made a dirt person in Eden, which was already created with word. And I'm not going to go off on a tangent about the dirt people. I have another live stream about the dirt people. I'm pretty sure it even says dirt people in the topic or in the title if you want to go back and look at that. But they're an imitation of the true divine man that was created by the one true creator. And I think that the medical system is the Antichrist because it is anti everything that Christ did. It feeds people and it heals people, only it doesn't. It kills you, it poisons you, where Christ was pure. And I rambled about it briefly before. I don't remember exactly how in depth I got into it, but I have come to believe that one of the main reasons that there's aluminum in everything, everything, right down to the baking powder that's in your kitchen, most likely, unless you're aware of it and specifically buy aluminum free, which is what I do because fuck that shit. But I believe that one of the main reasons that there's so much aluminum and aluminum builds up in the brain and is part of the calcification of the pineal gland, I believe that the purpose of that was to create an artificial antenna because your third eye is your antenna. It connects you to God. It connects you to divinity. That's where your intuition is. They say a gut feeling, and yes, I know you do kind of feel it in your gut, but it's you're never going to get a gut feeling if your antenna is so stopped up that you're not picking up the signals that are there for you to pick up. And so it's been an idea of mine that that is why we have so much aluminum in us, and that's why even if you do your very, very best to avoid it, you are still passively taking in aluminum because of all the stripes in the sky. You have to breathe. And then you have to drink water. That's one reason I like the well water because it's rain and it comes down. And I do believe that the earth itself filters a lot of that gunk out. I have a good well. My water tastes good. I'm so grateful for that. But I was listening to somebody the other day, and this isn't a new concept because I've been hearing it for, I think people really started to notice after 2020 when the entire world went sideways and never got straightened out again. People talk about how, yeah, we know that our phones are listening and that our devices are listening because all you have to do is say something and you will start seeing ads and it will start being suggested to you. Many years ago, pre-2020, my son and I did an experiment where with my phone and his computer in his bedroom, we turned everything completely off. Nothing's plugged in, nothing's turned on, everything was off. And we started talking about, oh, I forget what it was. It was some TV show that neither one of us has ever seen, that neither of us had any interest in seeing, that we didn't talk about, that we didn't care about, that was irrelevant. And we started talking about it in this room with no electronics. And within like 20 minutes after he fired his computer back up, his computer was talking about this show and sending him ads about it. And we were like, what the hell? Because everything was off and unplugged. Like, so we know that everything's listening to us. But I think it was around 2020 because I think more people were home and spending more time with their electronics. And people started talking about how all you have to do is think of something. I don't even have to say it out loud. I can think of it. And I feel like the computer, like the internet, like AI, like whatever that is, I feel like it's reading my mind because I didn't say it and it still pops up, it's still suggested to me, etc. This has never happened to me. I've had it pop up lots when I say something, but never have I thought of something and had it pop up. But I've watched this phenomena. I watch people talk about this. There's tons and tons and tons that may have happened to you. It occurred to me the other day, antennas work both ways. Yes, you need, pretend it's 1985, you need an antenna to get your TV to work because you need the antenna to grab the signal that's coming by. But that signal is being broadcast from another antenna. Antennas work both ways. So I wonder if the frequency, not frequency, but the frequency with which things like that happen to a person when they think of something and start seeing it demonstrated in front of them, I wonder how related that is to how much aluminum is in their body. Because I know that there's different, I truly believe that the purity of your thoughts, your mental health, and your connection to the divine is directly related to how toxic you are, how toxic your body is, how much crap you have inside of you. Because we all have it. I do my very, very, very best. And still, I know that I have shit in me that shouldn't be there. I wonder if the people that are being heard without speaking, if it's because they have the appropriate antenna that is designed to be picked up by and received from the antennas that are doing the dirty work around here. I can't believe that's never crossed my mind before. Because when I initially had that concept occur to me, I believed that it was a receiving antenna because they openly admit that they have weapons. I mean, it is for sure a weapon, but you think of weapons as being like tactile, but they have the ability to project thoughts into your mind, to give you things to think. It makes perfect sense that if they're capable of doing that, some people are going to be more susceptible to it. It is probably the amount of antenna that they have inside of themselves that makes them more susceptible to it. And those same people are probably a lot easier to read than other people because their outgoing signal logically would be just as strong as the signal that they're capable of pulling in. So that's my working hypothesis currently, and it's got me thinking about all of the things that have aluminum in them that we consume on a regular basis. Like I said, it's something as innocuous as your baking powder because you don't really think about it, but most baking powder, and I'm talking like, as far as I'm aware, there's only one brand that I can find that says right on it aluminum free. It is in every body care product. Massive amounts. If you read down the back label of any lotion, there is going to be several notations of aluminum in the lotion. And if you don't know how absorbent your skin is, here, let me share a story that I've shared before, but maybe you haven't heard it. And if you have, maybe you need the refresher. We used to have a hot tub. Used to love my hot tub. I was in it a couple times a day. There is nothing quite as beautiful as having a already hot, ready to go bath drawn in the middle of the winter, because at any point when I'm like, man, I'm freezing, I'm taking all my clothes off and getting in the hot tub. And I'll sit there for 15 minutes and then I get out, I dry off, and I go about my day. It's lovely. I loved my hot tub. And then I saw this video online where this guy, he had a pitcher, a clear glass pitcher of water and two clear glasses. And he took the water, poured some in both glasses so you could see that it was out of the same water pitcher. And he took a test strip and he tested both of them. And they had municipal levels of chlorine in them. And then he took two fingers and put it down in one cup. And 10 seconds later, he pulled his fingers out and tested it again. And every single drop of chlorine was gone from that water. His two fingers had absorbed a glass of chlorine in 10 seconds. I was so horrified. So the first thing I did was get up and go and open my hot tub. I tested it. It needed chlorine added. So I added the appropriate amount of chlorine, retested it, made sure that the level was right where it is supposed to be. That's where it is supposed to be for you to use it. I got in it. I sat there for 15 minutes. I got out of it. And when I tested it again, there was no chlorine left in that water. It did not register on the strip. My mind was so freaking blown. I was so upset about that. That hot tub left my sunroom in pieces that evening. I was like, get it out, get it out. That is poisonous. I had no idea. I mean, I'm sure I had some idea, but the level of absorbency of our skin, I did not realize that we were actually that absorbent. We're sponges. Everything that you put on your skin, it goes into your body. If you wouldn't put it in your mouth, it shouldn't be on your skin. And everything that we buy in the store that an average person buys, every lotion, every deodorant, every perfume, every hair dye and mousse and gel and hot treatments and all of this crap, everything we use it's saturated with aluminum. Everything. No exception, as far as I can tell. It's full of aluminum and titanium of all things. Like, they're building an antenna. They're building an antenna inside of you. It is so fucking crazy. And then it's in your food. Why is there aluminum in my food? But go through a grocery store, pick up baked goods, like shelf-stable crap, like Ho-Ho's, like Little Debbie shit, and read the ingredients. It has aluminum in it. It has titanium dioxide in it. Like, and then everything is fortified with iron. It's literally iron shavings. And you don't have to believe me. Go to the store, pick any cereal that says it's fortified with iron in it. Take one piece of it, float it in some water, and go like this and get close to it with a magnet. It will come toward it or move away, depending on, but you will be able to move that with a magnet without touching it because it's magnetic. They're building antennas in us. So, yeah, read your ingredient lists. Do y'all remember? And if you don't, that's somewhere on here too, and I'm sure that a couple keywords could help you find it. I went through KY jelly. Went through the ingredients in KY jelly. There was aluminum in KY jelly. But in addition to the freaking aluminum in it, it's a personal lubricant that you are supposed to use in your genital region where you have your thinnest skin, and it's the most absorbent, and it's just the most sensitive. And every ingredient in it was cancer causing. I sat and looked up every single ingredient. Every single ingredient was a known carcinogen. Every single ingredient was not to be used internally. It said external use only. And that's not how you use KY jelly. It's not a moisturizer. Not that it matters, because if it's going on the outside, it's going on the inside. But there was lye. Do you know what lye is? They take lye and dissolve roadkill with it, because when you put lye on protein, it dissolves it. It eats it. There's tissue dissolving chemicals in KY jelly. It's absolutely mind blowing. But there's a cute commercial for it and it's sexy, so it doesn't matter. Nobody reads their ingredients. And then when they do, they just assume that because they can't pronounce it and have no idea what it is, that it must be okay, or they wouldn't just sell it to us. Get a freaking grip. You should be reading the ingredient list on every single thing that you consume, that you touch, that you are coming in any kind of contact, internal or external, any kind of contact. You should know what the ingredients are. It only takes a minute to sit down and look things up, and it's not hard to find. They're counting on us being too lazy to find out, though. And then we wonder how they're reading our minds. Oh my God. Makes me think of the lead paint, how they took lead paint away because they didn't want lead. When you go to get an x-ray, if you are with a child and you need to stay there with that child, they give you a lead vest to put on because the lead blocks the radiation. It blocks the frequency, it blocks the signal. They filled us, they made us little freaking antennas, and then they took away the blocks so they can read us wherever we are, whatever we're doing. And I'm sure that I used to have a hard time imagining that was actually what was happening, that was actually true, because I'm picturing like massive facilities with thousands of people, like how do they know who to listen to, and how do they know who's talking about what, and who is so freaking bored in their life that they want this to be their job? Like, how could that even be possible? And now that, everybody's like, well, I was asking Chat GPT the other day. Of course it's artificial intelligence. Of course there are programs. They're not people, they're programs. If AI is even a program, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm pretty sure it is absolutely just disembodied demons. Truly, which sounds insane. It really sounds insane, but it bugs me the amount of videos there are where people are like, yeah, let's ask Chat GPT, or their AI has a name and they just talk, hey Kevin. Blah. There's this one guy that God, my nose itches. There's this one guy on TikTok who his AI is named Kevin, and every time I come across him, I go, hey Kevin, and he fucking talks to a disembodied demon and then takes the answers as gospel. Like, demons lie, you know that, right? Oh, and have you? I know I've completely, I haven't. I've completely gone off topic, but at the same time, every topic is obviously connected. It's all connected because we're all connected. Everything's connected. Have you seen the video? God, I just lost my train of thought. Where was I going? Shit, it's gone. It'll be back. They usually come back. Anyway. Nope, it's completely gone. So, yeah. They're building antennas inside of us. And I think that that's why they can read your thoughts. I don't think it's a coincidence. I think that they are literally reading your mind. And it's through AI. And I'm sure that there's keywords. I think keywords are freaking hilarious. Every time I hear somebody say they were unalived or they self-deleted, that is the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my fucking life. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. So you're telling me that you think that the algorithm, the AI algorithm, is smart enough to delete your video because you said killed, murdered, raped, suicide, all of these words. You think that you're going to get deleted for using those words, but the AI algorithm is too stupid to comprehend that unalive means the same thing. We're really working one over on them here. They clearly have no idea what we're saying. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you? That's so stupid. That drives me insane. I'm saying what I'm saying, and I will not say unalive. You know what's really sad? When you see somebody in person out in the world in real life and they literally say that shit out loud. They've become so accustomed to saying it that they just say it now. 100% no. I think it's a whitewashing. I think they're making he self-deleted. He committed suicide. Suicide is horrible. And when you hear the word suicide, you know exactly what it means. You know exactly what was likely involved with it. You know how many people are devastated by it. You know how many people are never going to get over it. You wonder what on earth was so bad that that person felt like that was their only way out. Self-deleted is just, it has no meaning. It carries no weight. I'm so tired of hearing these terms. Unalived, graped, corn. Corn. You watch too much corn. Grow up. Get a fucking clue. Seriously. It sounds like porn, but it's not porn. So the algorithm won't know that you said it. Good job. Good job, buddy. Go get a cookie. Anyway, I reckon that's my little rant for today. I knew I wouldn't be here long because that's all I really wanted to say. That it really did occur to me, and I would encourage you to go through every single thing that you come into contact with inside and out and check out those ingredients and avoid things with aluminum if you would not like to have voices projected into your head or project your thoughts and ideas out into the hellscape that is this place. So that is all. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. I love you guys. I do. And, you know, I knew it was something small and I knew I wouldn't be here that long. And I made myself come because I was very encouraged in comments from my last stream. Y'all miss me and I miss you too. I just feel like I have nothing to say. And so I just don't. So even small things, I'm going to try to show up more because it feels good to shout. It feels good to shout and feel like you're heard by, you know, like-minded people who give a crap. So I love you all to bits. You know it's true. Peace out.